Продолжаем запись видео. А шоу продолжение, так кнопка такая есть. Сейчас пойдем посмотрим, что там.
The weather kept fair. For uncounted days I drifted aimlessly beneath the scorching sun, waiting either for some passing ship or to be cast on the shores of some habitable land. But neither ship nor land appeared, and I began to despair in my solitude.
Стало намного светлее.
The change happened whilst I slept. Its details I shall never know. For my slumber, though troubled and dream-infested, was
Пока мы только слышим рассуждения главного героя. Кальмары какие-то. Где мы оказались, непонятно.
When at last I awoke, it was to discover myself half sucked into a slimy expanse of hellish black mire, which extended about me in monotonous, and in which my boat lay grounded some distance away.
Лодка моя лежала совсем неподалеку на поверхности этой черной массы.
Though one might well imagine that my first sensation would be of wonder at so prodigious and unexpected a transformation of scenery, I was in reality more horrified than astonished.
Перемена пейзажа на самом деле.
For there was in the air and in the rotting soil a sinister quality which chilled me to. The region was putrid with the carcasses of decaying fish and of other less describable things which I saw protruding from the nasty mud of the unending plain.
Хотя бы не на полу лежим.
Perhaps I should not hope to convey in mere words the unutterable hideousness that can dwell in absolute silence. There was nothing within hearing and nothing in sight save a vast reach of black slime. Yet the very completeness of the stillness and the homogeneity of the landscape oppressed me with a nauseating fear. The sun was blazing down from a sky which seemed to me almost black in its cloudless cruelty, as though reflecting the inky marsh beneath my feet.
Поэтому тебе все мерзость. А под ногами лежала какая-то фигня. Мне снилось, как я ползу вперед, и эта отвратительная слизь затягивает меня. В защиту Дагона, город Лавкрафт. Просто город Лавкрафт ненавидел рыбу и море, и поэтому придумал Дагона. Куда нам дальше-то идти? А, обратно на лодку, ну пойдемте. Посмотрим, что у нас тут.
As I crawled into the stranded boat, I realized that only one theory could explain my position. Through some unprecedented volcanic upheaval, a portion of the ocean floor must have been thrown to the surface, exposing regions for which innumerable millions of years had lain hidden under unfathomable watery depths. So great was the extent of the new land which had risen beneath me that I could not detect, nor were there any seafowl to prey upon the dead things.
Птиц, которые имеют обыкновение слететься на трапезу из мертвых организмов. А дальше куда? А вот почему не было? Вот она.
For several hours I sat thinking or brooding in the boat, which lay upon its side and afforded a slight shade as the sun moved across the heavens. As the day
Пойдем дальше.
that night I slept.
Все. Пойдем. Давайте смену декорации надо уже сделать. Блин, надо было прочесть, что он хотел сделать. А, Залезь в мешок.
On the third morning, I found the soil dry enough to walk upon with
Поспали в
ease.
мешке, и на утро погода была достаточно сухой, чтобы без труда передвигаться.
The odor of the fish was maddening, but I was too much concerned with graver things to mind so slight an evil, and set out boldly for an unknown goal.
Гнилой, гниющей рыбы одурманивал. Вот единственная рыбка у тебя под ногами лежит. Неужели это так бесило тебя? Вот вторая вроде бы. Идем дальше.
All day I forged steadily westward, guided by a faraway hummock which rose higher than any other elevation on the rolling desert.
Штуки. Или звездного десанта. Ну, прикольненько передвигается, конечно. Самому ходить нельзя. Самому только
That
поворачиваться.
night I encamped, and on the following day still travelled toward the hummock, though that object seemed scarcely nearer than when I had first espied it. By the fourth evening, I attained the base of the mound, which turned out to be much higher than it had appeared from a distance.
К вечеру четвертого дня я достиг наконец подножия холма, до которого было всего 100 метров. И вблизи он оказался значительно выше, чем издалека. Удивительно.
An intervening valley setting it out in sharper relief from the general surface.
Истинное испытание еще впереди.
Too weary to ascend, I slept in the shadow of the hill.
Все-таки он не дошел до этого холма, уснул, бедолага.
I know not why my dreams were so wild that, but ere the waning and fantastically gibbous,
Мистический
I was awake in a cold perspiration, determined to sleep no more.
Сам на Луне оказался, чувак, понимаете?
Such visions as I had experienced were too much for me to endure again. And in the glow of the moon I saw how and why,
Ну, после такого не мудрено из окна выброситься, конечно.
without the glare of the parching sun, my journey would have cost me less energy. Indeed, I now felt quite able to perform the ascent which had deterred me at sunset.
Господи, да заберись ты уже на эту гору.
Picking up
Готов
my
он
pack,
к
I
восхождению
started for the crest of the
драгоценные силы он
eminence.
свои хранит. Давай в мешок
I
еще
have said that
залезь.
the unbroken monotony of the rolling plain was a source of vague horror to me. But I think my horror was greater when I gained the summit of the mound and looked down the other side into an immense whose black recesses the moon had not yet soared high enough to illumine.
Камни.
I felt myself on the
Вы не
edge of the
поверите,
world,
камни. Что это еще могло быть? На горе.
peering over the rim
Он
into a
считает, что он на
fathomless
краю
chaos of
мироздания
eternal night. Through my terror ran curious reminiscences and of Satan's hideous climb through the unfashioned realm as the moon climbed higher in the sky. Ledges and outcroppings of rock afforded fairly
Whoa.
easy footholds for a
Так, свалиться
descent,
недолго.
whilst after a drop of only a few hundred
Ну давай, прыгай. Не, чувак, если такая игра будет, не пойдет.
urged on by an impulse which I can't definitely
Ну, столько
analyze.
лезли на
I
эту
scrambled
гору.
with difficulty down the rocks
нее-
and stood on the gentler slope
Наверное,
beneath,
съехал с нее.
gazing into the Stygian deeps, where no light had yet penetrated. All at once, my attention was captured by a vast and singular object on the opposite, an object that gleamed whitely in the newly bestowed rays of the ascending moon.
Луны. Он сиял.
that it was merely a gigantic piece of stone.
Вскоре я увидел, что это было всего лишь огромной каменной глыбой. Ровный, прямоугольный, огромный каменный.
But I was conscious of a distinct impression that its contour and position were not.
Ну да, как объяснишь тут?
A closer scrutiny filled me with sensations I can't. For despite its enormous magnitude and its position in an abyss, I perceived beyond a doubt that the strange object was a whose massive bulk had known the work. Dazed and frightened, yet not.
Где ты их видишь вообще, чувак? Кроме тебя здесь никого нету. Посмотрим, где-нибудь за монолитом прячется.
The moon, now near the zenith, shone weirdly and vividly above the towering steeps that hemmed in the chasm,
Прикольная водичка.
and revealed the fact that a far-flung body of water flowed at the bottom, winding out of sight in both directions and almost lapping my feet as I.
Немножко я понял. Давай поближе. Ближе, ближе.
The writing was in a system of hieroglyphics unknown to me and unlike anything I'd ever seen in
Над
books.
водой.
Several characters obviously represented marine things which are unknown to the modern, but whose decomposing forms I had observed on the ocean-risen plain. It was the pictorial carving, however, that did most to hold me spellbound.
Давай посмотрим поближе. Методика повествования. Продолжается рассказ Дагон.
Plainly visible across the intervening water, on account of their enormous size, were an array of bas-reliefs whose subjects would have excited the envy of a Doré. I think that these things were supposed to depict men, at least a certain sort of men, though the creatures were shown disporting like fishes in the waters of some marine grotto, or paying homage at some monolithic shrine. Of their faces and forms I dare not speak in detail, for the mere remembrance makes me grow faint. Grotesque beyond the imagination of a Poe or a Bulwer. They were damnably glassy, bulging eyes. Curiously enough, they seemed to have been chiseled, for one of the creatures was shown in the act of killing a whale, represented as but little larger than himself. I remarked, but in a awestruck at this unexpected glimpse into a past with only loathsome. It darted like a stupendous monster of nightmares to the marlin. About which it flung its gigantic scaly arms, while it bowed its hideous head and gave. I think I went mad then. Of my frantic ascent of the slope and cliff, and of my delirious journey back to the stranded boat. I believe I sang a great deal and laughed oddly when I was unable to sing. I have indistinct. When I came out of the shadows, I was in a San Francisco hospital. Brought thither by the captain of the American ship which had picked up my boat in mid-ocean. In my delirium, I had said much, but found that my words had been given scant. of any land up
Хватит болтать.
nor did I deem it necessary to insist upon a thing.
Журналист. Все успели прочитать? Ну-ка. Идем дальше. Так. Здесь у нас. Так.
Once I sought out a celebrated ethnologist and amused him with peculiar questions regarding the ancient Philistine legend of Dagon, the fish god.
Дагон бога-рыб. Какая фигурка странная. Дагон или Даган был главным божеством в пантеоне филистимлян. Кто бы они ни были. Хорош. Дальше. Все это читать слишком долго. С креслица прикольно сейчас. На креслице посижу так вот. Опачки. Неудобно сидеть на кресле без кресла. Что у нас здесь? Такой главный шкаф.
But soon perceiving that he was hopelessly conventional, I did not press my inquiries.
Правильно все. Так можно по ящикам полазить, как в Half-Life. Так, в принципе, красивенько. Игра говорит, что у нас здесь часы какие-то. Вот. Демки непонятно, как именно играть, как ходить с этими геймпадами околусовскими.
It's night, especially when the moon is gibbous and waning, but I see the thing.
А, ну вот, где мы, собственно, начинали.
I tried morphine,
Такой прикольный шприц.
but the drug has given only transient surcease. So now I am to end it all, having written a full account for the information or the contemptuous.
Ну давай, положи конец прямо из окна.
Often I ask myself if it could not all have been a pure phantasm, a mere freak of fever, as I lay sun-stricken and raving in the open boat after my escape from the German man of
Не
war.
хочу я на ней уже плавать. Почему вообще я как-то низко, по-моему? Как будто бы под водой.
This,
Давай, пойдем быстрее, быстрее, дальше, дальше, дальше.
I cannot think of the deep sea without shuddering at the nameless things that may at this very moment be crawling and floundering on its slimy bed, worshipping their ancient stone idols. I dream of a day when they may, of a day when the land shall sink and the dark ocean shall ascend amidst universal pandemonium.
Поплыли. На статуе свободы. Это типа
The end is near.
конец близок.
I hear a noise of
Быстрее. Кто стучится в дверь мою, а видишь, дома нет никого.
it shall not find me.
Нельзя позволить ему найти меня здесь. Надо спрятаться. Куда-нибудь спрятаться с ним.
God, that hand!
Боже, это нога! Это нога!
The window! The window!
Скорее в окно! Паша, вниз! Ты забыл открыть окно, чувак? Здрасте ты какие. Всем